Oh. Oh. Ariom, and greetings from Niagara Falls. A long time ago, I got to travel to Denmark. And while I was in Denmark, I went to a place called Christiania. And this was a commune. It was a commune of around 1,000 people who considered themselves outside of the EU. They had their own police force, they had their own schooling system, and it was captivating. The fact that I'm mentioning this to you, it's still in my mind. So now let's fast forward many years. When I reflect on our community, and I want you to do the same, our community is like a commune where we're engaged in communal living. And if you can visualize this in terms of a structure, this would be a gurukula. In a gurukula, people live in a communal way. This is a commune where they have a higher purpose. They're coming to unity. In our gurukula, the ground floor would be our courses. Our weekly courses on Vibhishana Gita or dialogue with Dharma and so on. For anyone who wants to be more grounded in life, it is such weekly courses. And I have found people who are not part of such weekly courses, there is less grounding. The first floor would be our spaces or our sangas. Sangas like silent sangha. This doesn't meet on a weekly basis, but on a monthly basis. It's a space and time where you can focus on a particular area you need to grow in or want to grow in, like silence, etc. Now we're building our third floor. This is our teams. We have many teams developing this whole month. Almost every night I'm meeting with a different team. We have a research and development team. We have a philanthropy for society team. We have a training ambassadors team. And this is to provide those in our Gurukula a further opportunity to serve, to be part of this team, and to grow into that steady, sincere seeker. Everyone can see the Gurukula, our courses, our spaces, our teams. The Mentorship Sanga. This month we complete 3 years of facilitating our Mentorship Sanga, 2 years in its present format, where we're calling this our Mentorship Sanga. That is a long time, 36 months, 24 months, 12 months. And so I'm offering my appreciation to all of you who have a feeling for this space, this Sangha, as mentees, as mentors. I was listening to a podcast about how awesome Taylor Swift is. Now, if people weren't Swifties, Taylor Swift would be less awesome then, correct? So, my appreciation to all of you as seekers and as coordinators. My appreciation to our team. Our team is coordinated by Lavanya. She's actively supported by Sheetal, as well as Deepal and Janani and Prem. Now, one of our coordinators who's been with us for 3 years and is now shifting her seva is Pooja. I've known Pooja for a long, long time, maybe longer than anyone else I'm looking at right now. I believe we were in a Balavihar camp once together in Chicago. And that's how long we've known each other. When I was still in high school, somehow I got the OM award in that camp. Who knows what happened in terms of just my mission needs to do better with false positives. And so Pooja is completing 3 years of seva towards our mentorship sangha, and we're very appreciative of that in so many ways. Her life has taken on so many responsibilities, but she held on to this one and now is simply transitioning her responsibilities. And I've told her in writing, and I'm saying it publicly also, that anytime she wants to rejoin this team or any team, she just has to ask. She's what's the opposite of a false positive? That's her. And as we continue creating more opportunities for service, I am formally welcoming the expansion of our Mentorship Sangha team to include Ananya and Mukul and Neha and Shruti and Theos. Ananya's being trained right now, so she's going to come in and she's going to come out until she is more ready, considering she's still in school right now, actively in school. So my appreciation to our historical team, our present team, our future team. Okay. Now I'm going to share one thought and then we'll begin our celebration. Yesterday I spoke at a conference in Bharat, in India, on how spirituality is a path to emotional intelligence. How spirituality is a path to emotional intelligence. And I gave the framework of our emotions are really our thoughts. Our thoughts are really our mind. Our mind is an equipment to be used by awareness. The mind depends on awareness. Awareness does not depend on the mind. When one knows this, naturally their emotional intelligence grows. And I feel the same is happening in our Mentorship Sangha. All of the mentors, they made IQ their focus, but as they continued being a seeker with experience, they realized that IQ has a limited role in one's life and EQ has a much higher role. SQ, the most high role. And so our mentors are helping our mentees transition from IQ to EQ and hopefully to SQ. So what a lovely offering relationship to help one focus on what's important more. And I hope you're all resonating with this actively. And this is why, as we complete our entire year in so many ways, our final effort to serve society is through active minds. Our Mentorship Sangha is an opportunity for us to raise our mental health, whether you're a mentor or a mentee. And I would say that 99.9% of people don't have access to a resource, a community like we do. And that's why we need to share our privilege. So again, I hope you're feeling this, and we'll keep on helping facilitate such privilege. Our Gurukula now has 3 floors. We'll keep building floors so we can actually physically live together. And my appreciation to all part of our Sangha, particularly our past, present, future team. Spirituality is a path to emotional intelligence where you know your awareness and the mind is an expression of that. Our mentors are helping our mentees to know EQ is what helps you to live with a smile on your face, not IQ. And any mentor who doesn't know that will reconsider your application for next year to be a mentee. So that's more clear to you. With all of this sharing, I'm transitioning over to our team to continue.
Hariom Vivekji, Hariom Mentorship Sanga, and anyone else who's joined us tonight. I'd like to start off with a recap video. Thank you. I hope that was a nice throwback. We try to get in as many faces as possible. So thanks for everyone who submitted it. Now we will hear some sharings from our mentors and mentees. First, we have Ashika. She is a mentor in Pod Smile.
You have to make her co-host. She can't unmute herself.
Sheetal, are you able to do that? Mine, it's not working for me. Oh, there we go.
Thank you. Hariom, everyone. That was such a beautiful and heartwarming video. I wanted to start by thanking Vivekji. Thank you is just not enough words. I think I stumble when I come face to face with such wisdom and love because there just aren't enough words to really capture it, which is why I wrote some things down. I want to start off by highlighting Pranati for being here. She has been such a marvelous mentee, and her very presence here in the middle of finals week, medical school, with her smiling face, joining at 9:15 p.m., I think says more than I possibly could. She has always been present and attentive on every one of our calls that we've shared. I can tell that she has that mindfulness well beyond her years. And that's a quality that I imagine it's an apple that can fall from a nearby tree. It can come from our parents, it can come from our teachers. I know what I've observed in this Sangha is that it comes from Vivekji. It comes from us being able to finally put into practice the wisdom that we learned during satsang. We've all been to discourses at retreats where for those 3 days, we're so enraptured by that feeling of peace that we come away with and we think, that's it, I'm forever changed. And I'm now going to set off on a path to meditate every day and be compassionate and patient with my family members. But I know, speaking for myself, that post-retreat glow doesn't always last unless it's followed up by intentional, frequent disciplines. And I think our mentorship Sangha is one of the greatest gifts in that realm of weekly or bi-weekly disciplines, because it's a way of putting in effort into self-development that feels effortless. Because as human beings, we are wired for connection. And through that connection, if we're able to humble ourselves and grow simultaneously inward and outward towards another being, that's both working on our individual consciousness and the collective consciousness. And I can just feel it in that video that Janani played for us, the amount of joy radiating from everyone's faces, the fact that connections that were forged miles apart, different states, different countries. Yes, Canada is definitely a different country, totally different people up there. Everybody coming together from so many different regions, yet we're all chasing after the same thing, which is inner peace, love, connection. So I could not be more grateful for this Sangha, and going from the macro to the micro once again, funneling back down to everything Pranati has given me in our companionship. I truly feel like I've found a soul sister in this Sangha. I have learned from someone who might be younger than me in physical age, but is so wise, so compassionate, so reflective, that I came away from every one of our calls feeling like I had learned something that I could apply even more in my life. And I thank you for that. Thank you, Vivekji. Thank you to everyone in the community.
Thank you, Ashika. Next, we'll have her mentee, Pranati, and then after that, we will have Sagar, who is a mentor from, is it Pod Laugh? So both of them will share next.
Hariom, everyone. First of all, thank you so much, Ashika, for saying the sweetest things. Thank you so much to the mentorship team, Vivekji, the entire leadership team, for giving me this opportunity to speak, but also showing me the importance of personal mentorship this year. I think I've gone my entire life without having a personal mentor until this year. I've had the privilege of growing up with Bal Vihar, having great role models within our culture and within family, but I truly, like, Ashika has been my first personal mentor, and I'm so grateful for this experience. I've learned so much from Ashika, and she always makes every conversation so easy, and she's so open and so easy to talk to. And truly, you know, Ashika was saying that I felt like talking to a soul sister. And for me, I've never had an older sister, but if I did, I think this is what it would feel like, because Ashika's honestly feels like an older sister to me at this point. I love talking about fun things. Like, we're both South Indian, and she likes Tamil music and I like Telugu music. So we've shared music a couple of times. So that's like really fun to have. But more deeply, she's helped instill resilience in me and helped me build a growth mindset in my own life. There are small things that she says, and the way she says it is genuinely so incredible. And I don't know how she has this wisdom. I know she, you know, has these practices that she does in the morning. She teaches yoga, and she's trained in India, and she's, you know, she's done all this work, but even beyond that, she's just wise as a person. And, you know, she has the answer to everything, let me tell you. You know, sometimes if I have questions about school, like, oh, I have a major deadline and I need to get this done, but I don't know how I can do it. One advice she's given me is set a small goal for yourself. Set a timer for 60 seconds and do a plank. If you can do that for yourself, then you're able to overcome your own mental obstacles and you can get your work done. So it's small things like that that are so meaningful to hear from another person. And she's taught me a lot about what it means to have faith in God and to strengthen my relationship with God. I was telling her recently in a call we had that when I wake up, I have my Bhagavad Gita book right next to me, but for some reason I don't read it every day and I don't know why. And she told me just put a sticky note that says read me. And then like when you wake up, that's the first thing you see. And I literally did that and said that picture to her in the same call. And it's things like that that really help. And I wouldn't really focus on these things if I didn't have a mentor. So for anyone who on this call who doesn't have a chick mentor yet, I really urge you to sign up for the mentorship program. Or for those who do have mentors, you really I hope that you understand how valuable this has been, and I'm sure you can relate. This program has truly changed my life, and I'm so grateful to this to all the leadership team, Sheetal, Janani, Lavanya. I've had some opportunities to interact with some of you in the past, and I really hope I'm able to meet more of you. And thank you so much, Ashika, from the bottom of my heart for honestly changing my life this year. And I'm so excited for the relationship that we'll be building in the future, and so excited for our next mentorship call. So thank you so much, and thank you, Vivekji. Hariom.
Howdy, everyone. Can you guys hear me? If someone can give me a thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Yes, Howdy, again, my name is Sagar. Uh, Once again, gratitude to everyone for giving a chance to speak. I'll be as brief as I can be and get through this. So, in a nutshell, I think both Pranati and Ashika have brought points in that make the beauty of this mentorship program. And I think the only thing I generally want to add to this is that one just appreciation and gratitude to be part of the program. It's something that was just in the middle of the pandemic when the pilot of it launched that both the mentorship team briefly alluded to along with the Vigchi at the beginning of this at the start of this, but it started in 2021. And when it gotten started, I believe it was just a random reach out between Seetal and Pooja. And Pooja is one of my oldest friends from our Chicago days. So they had both reached out to me like, "Hey, Sagar, it might be an opportunity. You can be a mentor." Just and obviously now it's a growing 3 years in. There's a lot that's going on. It's more formalized. Some boundaries are there, but at that time it was just it was a new concept, and everyone was aware that mental health was an important concept before, but definitely during the pandemic era, even more so than ever. And so the intention of being able to provide that opportunity and through the mentorship program or the mentorship sangha as it's called now. So apologies if I'm using old terminology, but that's what I was introduced to as. So I have much appreciation and gratitude that I was able to start from then, and now it's been 3 years into the program. As I think about it, it's just generally each year it's been a different experience, and I think as a mentor, that's the best feeling. Each year you get a chance to recalibrate. You're paired with a new mentee that the mentorship sangha team overseas, and just getting a chance to meet a new person, being able to interact with them. Vivek alluded to this at the beginning, having that appropriate emotional quotient that indirectly can lead to spiritual quotient is the key. So each year it was a different experience because I believe my first year with a high schooler or college individual, and that year was the pilot year. The following year was flipped, so I might be mixing up, the mentees I had in terms of, age, but the idea was it was 1 year, one chick or J chick, another year it was a chick, and then this year I was paired with someone who is on towards the later part of chick entering Sektakari, Jogi, my mentee this year. So it's been each year has been a great experience just being able to um, kind of be there, be able to support the mentee, kind of be that, uh, a listening, a person who listens and is there, just providing a safe space. So I know I'm not a formal professional, or not major props and credit to those who are the professionals who do this day in and day out. But being able to serve in such a way, it's just been a great humbling experience being able to do it as seva, and appreciate the program and the opportunity. And I've enjoyed each of these 3 years, and I don't have any other thoughts outside of what both Ashika and Pranati have shared. That's just the beauty of this program. And being able to contribute, hopefully, I'm looking forward to run it up again, as they say in the sports world. So I'm looking forward to year 4. And again, once again, gratitude to the CM Niagara group, Vikchi, being able to build out this program, and obviously the wellness mentorship team overall, who formulated this back in 21, helped launch the pilot phase, and it's where it's at today. So that's it. That's all I had to share. Hariom, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ashika, Pranati, and Sagar. All that you've shared is the reason why the Mentorship Sangha was established. So now I have the opportunity to share the survey results. So this was the survey that was sent out a few weeks ago, and thank you so much to all of you that participated. A big shout out to Brame, who actually put this all together. Okay, so we're going to start off with just some statistics. The survey is really important to the coordinators of the Sangha, because we read every response and try our best to implement changes in the next year so that the experience of the Sangha is even more meaningful and impactful for each of you. So the survey size this year was 50% of our Sangha, which is 41, out of which we had 25 mentors participate and 16 mentees participate. For your reference, the response numbers exclude the program coordinators. Also, just another fun statistic, the average age of a survey taker was 31. Okay, so moving on to the next one. This is one of the most important questions that was asked in the survey, which was, how much has the Sangha helped your self-development? With 1 being not at all and 5 being absolutely. And the average response was a 4, which is just awesome. And some of the things that you've shared are highlighted here. When I feel overwhelmed, it helps me remember that the world isn't just me and I have people supporting me. The program reminded me to be more regular with my seva. So these are just some lovely sharings that we had. These are some of the most memorable interactions. Some great ideas for mentors and mentees for next year. Definitely some things that I'll be using. We both coordinated to try to run a half marathon in our own locations. We were both able to attend the Boston retreat. It was powerful to reflect and be with him in person. We created playlists for each other. That was awesome. We did the Myers-Briggs assessments and worked on weaknesses while remembering strengths. So yeah, please do read. Just lovely, lovely experiences shared by our mentors and mentees. So this is why your feedback is so important to us, because we work as a team to try to implement all the feedback. So sharing just some of this feedback that we will be implementing. So looking at the left, this was the constructive feedback that you provided. So one of the comments that was made was that some of the comments that were made was that we want to meet more members of the community. So this is, we had just piloted the virtual themed dinners just in the fall this year, just towards the end of summer, of August and September. And so we'll be doing those on a quarterly basis moving forward. You also shared that many of the program resources, you were unclear about where everything was situated. So what we're going to be working towards for 2024 is to consolidate all of our resources, so it's all in one place. Something else that was shared was that you want more in-person interactions, and this is something that I think we're all extremely excited about, is that we're going to be organizing in-person meetups in different cities across North America. So please stay tuned for more details on that. You also shared that you'd like to have more conversation topics and prompts to reflect on. All of this will be shared in that consolidated resource, which will be in the handbook. And you also shared that you want a greater variety of workshop topics and speakers. And we've also taken that feedback into consideration. And we are working to source newer speakers for new, fresh topics for 2024. So again, thank you so much to each of you for really sharing your feedback with us. As you can see, it's incredibly important for us to hear from you. Thank you so much. I'm now going to pass it on to Pooja, who will be leading dynamics. Hari Om.
Hari Om, everyone. It's so nice to have this evening of reflection, to be with you all, and to just celebrate our year together. So really appreciate everyone that could join. We have a nice intimate group tonight. We're going to do a little bit of reflection in our pods. We're going to try to split up by pods. If any of them are a little bit small, we might combine some. And we're going to do a little bit of discussion, just reflecting on the past year. So there's going to be 2 prompts. I can put them in the chat. What's a favorite memory from the program? If you aren't a part of the Mentorship Sanga, maybe even you can share a favorite memory from attending satsang this year. And then the second question is, what's a top lesson you've learned from your interactions with your mentee and or mentor? So I'll put these in the chat real quick. All right, I think everyone's back. So before we wrap up and do announcements, we'd love to just hear, I'm sure everyone would love to hear from each other a little bit about what you all discussed. And maybe we could just share, if a few people want to come off mute and raise their hand and just share one of their top lessons from their interactions with their mentor or mentee.
Well, I was just sharing in the Pod Joy room that my mentee is pretty much the reason why I've gotten back into reading. And so I'm on Goodreads. Last year, I hit my goal of 22 books because I'm trying to do the year, like 2022. I'm trying to do 22 books. This year, I'm trying to do 23 books. I still have one left, but we're so close. So it's really all thanks to her.
Wow, that's impressive. So 24 coming up for you. Awesome. We'll look for you were putting Rex in the WhatsApp group, I think, right?
Yeah. And I'm always looking for more recs too, because these books go very quickly when you read this much.
Awesome. Love it. Thanks, Jenny. Anyone else want to share? Ananya.
I think something that was really cool was when I got matched with my mentor, which is I think in August. About like a few weeks after that, I was thinking about whether to start orchestra again. And like she really like encouraged me. She's like, yeah, like this is a really great idea. And so like as we were getting to know each other more, I was like playing again, and it was just like a really beautiful merger of because I think like me playing again and like having a mentor, they were both very transformative experiences for me, and it just made my life like so full. So that's been like amazing.
Oh, love that. And what instrument?
Violin.
Violin. Okay. Oh, that's great. Thank you, Ananya. And you've always been such a wonderful, you always like share on our calls so willingly, and so we appreciate that. Just a shout out for the whole year. Geeta ji.
Yeah, I wanted to share that the most meaningful part of the Mentorship Sangha is to try and make an effort to meet our mentee in person whenever possible. So, I was able to do that this year. And again, seeing them in person and making that personal connection is such a wonderful thing. And if all the mentor mentees can, really make an effort to meet, that would just take the Sangha to a whole new level. And I'm excited that more in-person meets are being planned this year. There was only one planned last year, which I couldn't go, but I'm hoping to really make it to one of those meetups this year. because you can bond so much better when you see each other in person. And even that one meeting, can deepen the relationship so much more. So yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to more opportunities to meet up in person.
Love that. Love that encouragement. Thank you, Geeta Ji.
Mm.
Akshaya.
Can everyone hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think the one couple learnings. Firstly, I think just like being able to be vulnerable in a safe space, and I think it's just really hard to do in the day-to-day, like with work or friends and whatnot. But it's just cool to have someone in like a different geography that's like totally disconnected from like any of your social circles, that you can kind of just like be really open and honest with, and like be open about even like your mistakes, right? You don't really have to put up a front about anything. And then secondly, I think before I was very confused as to like who to take advice from. I feel like there was advice from everywhere coming left, right, and center. But I think like joining this program, you actually understand like what quality advice is and like where that comes from. And I think because this advice or like mentorship came from like a place of like really deep like selflessness, that it's like good advice, and like that like you can have trust and faith in that. So I really appreciated that from this program. Why is Lavanya LOLing?
That's great. I love those observations. Especially I never thought about the one that sometimes your mentee or mentor is not someone who's in your current social circle. So there's almost like a freedom associated with being really open with that. That's great. Love that. Ranjana, thanks for sharing. Ranjana.
Hariom. So I was actually listening to other people's, and I wanted to like talk about how Shruti like got me back to being more physically fit. At the end of last year, I had a surgery, and then at the start of the year, I could barely walk. Like in the start of January 2023, like I could literally barely walk. And it was really, really hard. But like just chatting with her, and like we made it like a commitment to like encourage each other to go, and we'd like take pictures of ourselves at the gym and be like, yeah, we made it. And that was like really motivating to me, and I'm really grateful that she did that for me. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And it makes me think there could be an opportunity, like, to have little subgroups in our program, like folks who have certain reading goals, fitness goals, etc. I love that. Thank you, Ranjana.
Pooja, would you like to share a reflection?
Sure, I can. I was reflecting, I think a big lesson I learned from my mentee in particular was she's a resident, and so she would sometimes share some of the situations she's facing in her workplace, or just like we've been together for 3 years, so just seeing her kind of grow in her role and in the medical field. And it was and like talking through some of that, I was always really struck by her calmness and just ability to take a step back from the situation she was in and put it in perspective and kind of realize like, oh, this is, like Bhagwan's Leela playing out. And that I feel like her ability to take a step back in her job made me sometimes be able to take a step back in my own job or with any situations I was facing. So I really appreciated that constant reminder and very practical reminder. Lots to learn from her. Awesome. Okay. Thank you everyone for sharing. It's so good to hear what you all chatted about. With that, we are going to conclude with some announcements. I'll hand it over to Lavanya.
Hariom, everyone. This has just been it's like the best holiday gift that anybody on the team could receive, is just hearing all of your reflections and just how meaningful this program is. Like Vivekji was sharing, I mean, without mentors and mentees and seekers who continuously come really yearning for those authentic and deep relationships, I mean, that's just amazing. Like speechless hearing all of your reflections. So just wanted to share some announcements for our upcoming year. So this is our last wellness workshop for the year. We will resume in January. You will get more information on that. Registration for 2024 mentorship will start on January 14th. Remember, everybody has to re-register. The mentee age range is from 15 to 28, and then the mentor is from 29 to 45. So if anything has changed, or if you have kids or a friend who's now eligible, please do encourage them to register as soon as the registration opens. This year, we really want to get our bulk of our matching done in February so people can really enjoy the full year of building a relationship. So please do be on the lookout for this. And the second announcement is something that Vivekji and the team has really been thinking about in terms of fostering Sangha and getting different perspectives. And all of us are moving through different life stages. And clearly from hearing everybody's experiences and sharing, we're all friends. Like that's the basis of it, right? Is after a few interactions, you become friends with your mentor or mentee. So keeping this in mind, we're moving forward with a 2-year term limit. So if you've been matched with your mentor or mentee for 2 years or plus now, like you're completing 2 years, then you will be rematched with somebody else. But don't panic, your mentor, mentee, you guys can still be friends. There's nothing, keep those interactions going. We just want to, continue to share different perspectives, and change is really the only constant. So we want to keep that in mind. So when you fill out your applications, remember that, don't just say that you want to be rematched if you've already been with the same person. And Sheetal will put the email in the chat. You're welcome to reach out to us if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Okay, so we'll close. Happy holidays, everyone. Hope it's an amazing time with your loved ones, or if you're just going to have some alone time to reflect, that's great as well. And wishing everyone a joyous new year. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. There you go.